Hello, YouTube! I don't know if you can see the lightning and hear the rain and the thunder. It is pouring outside, and I am inside good enough right now. This is the first major rainstorm that we've had where I'm here at the RV right now. Sadly, it's at night and not the daytime, so lighting is very limited, but I'm looking around to see if there's any more leaks that I need to be aware of. It looks like the water's on the outside, not the inside. The condensation has formed in here. Water is dripping, but it is outside. I don't see any leaks that were here before, so it looks like my attempts to there is water here though. So this side does have a leak coming in, or it could just be because I had this open. You know, I had it, you can see it's wet right here where I had it open. So I had the window open because it gets really hot in here. It's like 100 degrees outside right now. Well, it's probably dropped since. I wonder why it's not getting wet on this side. It's like the rain is blowing on one side. This side is still staying pretty dry, but this side is actually quite wet here along this track. I don't know if it's just from me opening that. It had been open, so water was coming in running down. Possibly. Because I don't see any drippage or anything coming from this way, coming in, other than the bottom of the windowsill itself leaking. So this still needs to be looked at. You see, I don't have the floor completely done. I'm just ripping things out. There is a wet spot here though, and super wet, probably from this being open, because I don't see water coming in from anywhere up here. So, by the way, a lot of people are freaking out about the wood here with some water coming in right here. Nope, that is the sealant that I put in for the little hole. A lot of people are worried about all this black wood and stuff, thinking it's mold, black mold. But let me give you a close-up here. It's not really mold. It's just discolored, dry, rotted wood. Mold tends to be kind of like fuzzy, okay? So this is just dry, rotted wood. Jeez, that hit right outside the RV. Man, that was scary. Anyhow, I am looking right now, going around trying to check for leaks. I'm gonna dry this off here. But yeah, water had come in from here, from this window. I also have the vent still open, which I might shut if it starts dripping down. But the reason all this was open was so that it doesn't get so hot and stuffy in here. But I can see I'm gonna need to put some kind of valance or something, some kind of thing hanging over the windows, because water is coming in. Because the wind is just blowing everywhere. It isn't just raining, it is pouring. Now, the roof vents right here, I'm going to go ahead and leave open because it looks like no water's coming in or dripping down. But I can't leave the windows open. Because then this, I'll have to check again when it's dry, because I think the water was coming in from that side and running down. And the only reason it was coming in was I had the window open. Which means I probably need to shut this front one too. I had this open right here. See, so it's a little bit of water came in here, but it's because the window's open. And this side is staying dry. So those of you that were thinking this is black mold, it's I don't think it's mold. I think it's discolored wood. Okay, that side is shut now. So I just wish this was happening during the daytime when I had a opportunity to have a better look. But like right now, things are kind of messed up. And I'm just looking to see if there's any drippage anywhere. But I don't see any drips coming in. That spot does look wet though. Nope, just looks wet. The wood looks wet, but it's dry. I don't know if you can see that. It looks black, like it's wet, but there's no moisture. So that is dry. Along this window looks pretty dry, which is good. And this rain is very strong. I know some of you were saying you can test it by spraying water on it. Yeah, you can do that if you have running water. I think you guys are forgetting that I have no access to running water like city water or 110 volt power. So whatever electricity and stuff that I have here that you see, I am self-generating. So doing tests like spraying water on it, that's not possible. At least not while it's parked here, being worked on. Need to find a place that has a hose that would let me hook up and test. There used to be drippage here. This was the area where when we first got the RV, it rained and it dripped. I can see there is a little bit of water here. A little bit more water is still coming in, but it's not running like it was before, so I need to seal that even better. The leak, for your information, for those of you who are curious, wasn't really coming from the roof. It's coming from the windows, where the windows join. Evidently the little gaps there open up and then water comes in and then seeps down the side and then rots out the window area right here, which is what's happened. But you can see I have fixed the leak that was dripping up through here, so there's still some leaks in the corner here, which I am going to have to deal with when it's dry and I'm out there able to work on it. But for the most part, it looks like the leak has been sealed, other than that little corner there that I need to deal with, and I do need to double check the back section here. So once I'm pretty confident that everything is sealed and good, I'm going to go ahead and start to close off the walls. I do need to replace this wood panel right down there. There's a panel of wood right there where the power cords and everything goes, you know, the light stuff go in. Wood needs to go there because the step ladder that's on the back bolts down to that or screws into that. Behind here I do have a big piece of wood, parts of pieces of wood that allow the step ladder to screw in, and the top part here still needs to be replaced. But just wanted to show you guys that it is indeed just discolored wood and not mold. I know you were all thinking black mold, but it's not. It's rotted wood. It's not mold. Mold is kind of fuzzy, and I had to deal with that when I was a handyman assistant at the mobile home. We had to replace a lot of walls where leakage had occurred and a black mold had formed. I had to wear the mask and spray it down and do all that stuff. But so far the mold that I've seen here has been this white mold, which is under here, which I'm going to replace this whole table here. But as far as black mold, I haven't seen any. Okay, I've seen black spots, which is so far appears to be discolored wood, dry rotted. So thank you for all your concerns. I did not rip everything apart because budget, basically. I don't have the money to rip everything off and then replace everything. I just don't have the money. So I've only been doing where, you know, I could see the person before me had gone through and ripped stuff apart because I knew there were leaks there. And here I got to deal with this, figure out if it, I don't think it's leaking. I think it's just because I had the window open. You can see how there's a line there where I had the window open. But for the most part, I think I've got the leaks sealed. You can see my new framing here that I had done to hold the window in, because there was nothing holding the window up other than the flimsy plastic outer shell. So that side's done. I do need to reframe this side. I don't know if I don't think I'm gonna redo the whole thing. I'm only gonna do it up to the dry rotted area. It's not the best fix, but it's the cheapest and fastest fix. I don't want to rip apart the whole window and redo the whole thing unless I have to. Same as on this side. You can see I only went out this far and then I stopped, you know, where the two would join together, sort of. I didn't want to rip apart this whole wall and redo it, although that is the proper way to do it. Probably wouldn't cost too much more, but I just don't want to take forever fixing this RV. The whole plan was to get the whole thing habitable and pretty much 90% done, if not more, within 4 weeks. And we are currently on week number 3. Actually, we're at the end of week number 3, getting ready to start week number 4, and we haven't really made much more progress than when we went live, just because I've had a lot of stuff going on this end that has pulled me from doing work on the RV. Although the floor, as you can see, has been done. I am finishing up the floor in the bedroom and going to do those walls, close out this bedroom. I think this week, this bedroom area should be done. Hard part will be this part where I have to reframe a little bit, and then cutting up the paneling and stuff to put it into, onto the walls and make everything look nice. Bathroom wise, bathroom is working. I did unplug this. I ended up disconnecting this light right here because I'm going to be making a switch. I don't know if it was supposed to be this switch initially. This switch doesn't seem to do anything. So at least I can't find anything that it does, but I'm not going to rewire it for the light. I did buy a regular 110 volt light switch that I'm going to install here to control the light here for the bathroom. That way when you come in here, you can just flip the light on and it'll come on. So right now when you flip it on, it won't come on because the light's disconnected right here. And the reason it is disconnected is I am going to wire in a switch, run the line down through here along the wall, punch a hole through, and put in a light switch right here. That is my plan. And that way when you come into the throne room, all you have to do is flip a switch, light comes on. I think I'll leave the fan like this, where you hit the button here to turn the fan on. That's the vent fan, little tiny vent fan that they have, and it is working. So that's what's currently going on as we start into week 4 of the reno on Good Enough. It is good enough. It's not done yet, but it is good enough that I started to clear spots. You see I got some boxes from work that I'm going to be storing junk in, and basically just trying to clear the place to make it more habitable. I was able to find some storage. Max was able to give me a little room in one of the mobile home units to actually put some of my items for storage. So I'll be storing extra parts and stuff. So over the next couple videos, you should see the RV should start to look less of a mess. It should start to look more like a habitable living space. Even though this front room, the living room here, will need to be redone. The walls are going to have to be gutted. Right there, gutted, reframed. I don't know if I have to do all of it. I did shake the window, and it was kind of floppy. So I don't know if you just saw that lightning. Thunder will be coming here soon. Maybe. That was weird. Lightning without thunder. There it is. There's the thunder. Yeah, storm's very bad, although it looks like it's calmed down on this end. All the lightning is hitting left and right. I'm very happy that it looks like probably about 95% of the leaks are done. So it's looking pretty good. Just need a couple little spots to touch up. Our duct tape is working. I am going to put up, the plan is, like the windows goes like this. I want to put these little window, I don't know what they're called, like hoods over the window. So that when the rain hits, it hits the hood and bounces off. It runs off and doesn't even run alongside the seams. That is the plan, to try to keep the water out, as well as make it so that you can leave the window open during a rainstorm and it won't get wet. Because when you close the windows like I have right now, it is humid and hot, and then you're going to have moisture build up inside the RV. So that is the plan. We'll see if it actually works. Hopefully this week you'll really see some major progress with Good Enough as I finish laying out the floor, finish up the walls, and complete the bedroom pretty much. I'll have it probably about 90% done. Just won't have all the cabinets and stuff, but I hope to have the walls in place and wiring. Also thinking of adding wiring to make the switches for the light bulbs. Because, right now, all of them, you have to go and hit the switch right on the, I don't know if you can see here. I'll show you an up close. The lights have little switches here in the center. And you have to flip them to make them work. This light, I pulled the working bulb out of there. I don't have LEDs up yet, so they're still running incandescent, which is kind of energy inefficient. I did install this battery-operated LED for the hallway, so you can read stuff here in the middle of the night, or if you need to get up and walk somewhere, you can just flip this on, and the switch is mounted on there. I bought the 2-pack for $5 from the flea market. So, but this is running off the vehicle's house battery, which I prefer, having the lights work off that, so I can just charge one battery instead of, replacing 5 million little batteries. But this is good for a hallway. I don't feel like rewiring light in there. But while we got everything apart and are looking at how things work, I'm contemplating actually opening that up and running a wire somehow down to here that I can flip on for the light for the room. Because going up there and flipping it is kind of a pain. It's right over the bed. You kind of have to get on the bed and crawl and do crazy stuff. So I'm even thinking of doing it for out here too. I don't know why they put RV lights on the RV, I mean on the bulb itself, other than the fixture for the bulb, other than to save money. But it makes more sense to have light switches. So I'm going to install a light switch probably over on this wall or over here when you come in. Or I might even put it here. But I'll put a switch there so when you flip it, it comes on. Versus having to go up and flip it, you know, right over the light itself. Same with the kitchen here. I may do this. I don't know. Although this is already pretty low. So it's, you know, pretty easy to do the overhead light. I may not do this one. I don't want to go crazy on switches, but I do want to make it look a little bit better and easier to use. You can see I started putting some hooks here because we want to be able to hang things down just like that, you know, little pots, little pans, and use them for cooking. So that's where we're at right now. I want to thank you all for joining me. If you have not already subscribed to this video, please make sure you hit the subscription button. And if you'd like to stay updated as to what's going on this channel on the latest uploads, make sure you hit the notification bell for, you know, being notified when I make an upload. I want to thank you all again for your support, all of you for your suggestions and your kind thoughts and prayers. I do feel the energy, and I think it is making a huge difference. I do appreciate all that, and am thinking of each and every one of you as well. And that pretty much wraps it up for this episode. So until next time, everyone, take care. God bless you all. Please stay safe. And hopefully wherever you are, you're staying dry. Have a good night now. Bye-bye.